It is 11:47 at night. You are brushing your teeth. The water is running, and without any warning, your brain hands you a sentence someone said to you in 2019. You did not ask for it. You did not summon it. You were not even thinking about that person. But there it is, replaying in your mouth like a song you cannot stop. And now you are not brushing your teeth. You are arguing with that person. In your head. In the bathroom. At nearly midnight. You are crafting the perfect response you should have said 6 years ago. You are imagining how it would have landed. You are wondering if it is too late to send a text. You know it is too late to send a text. You will still draft it tonight in your notes app. You will not send it. You will lie down. The conversation will continue. Sleep will arrive sometime after 2. You will wake up tired. And tomorrow night, your brain will hand you something else. This is your life. And you have no idea how common it is. There is a name for what your brain is doing. It has a measurable origin in the prefrontal cortex. It is not anxiety, although it shows up in anxious people. It is not depression, although it shows up in depressed people. It is its own thing, and it has its own research literature, and most therapists do not actually explain it well. The next 9 minutes will explain it well. You are going to learn what is happening in your brain when it does this. You are going to learn why it does it more at night than during the day. You are going to learn the one thing nobody told you about the people who do this most, which is that they tend to be the people most other people lean on. And by minute 6, you will hear the reframe that most viewers of this channel say they wish they had heard 10 years ago. Before any of that, you need to hear this. The fact that your brain replays old conversations is not a flaw. It does not mean you are obsessive. It does not mean you are stuck in the past. It does not mean you cannot let things go. What it means is that your brain has flagged a specific subset of memories as unresolved, and unresolved is a technical state. Your brain treats unresolved things differently from resolved ones. Resolved memories get filed away. They become history. Unresolved memories stay open in working memory, accessible, retrievable, ready to be examined again at any moment. For most people, unresolved means a conversation where the outcome was unclear. A relationship that ended without explanation. A criticism that landed without a chance to defend. A moment where you froze instead of responding. A silence you wish you had broken. These are the conversations your brain replays. Not random ones, specific ones. The ones where something inside you registered an incomplete loop and your prefrontal cortex made a small file marked, "Still working on this." That file does not close on a schedule. It closes when your brain reaches a state it codes as resolution. And for some people, that state is very hard to reach. Their brains keep the files open longer. Their files accumulate. By the time those people are 30, they have dozens of open files, each one waiting for a moment of quiet to surface. The research on this comes from a place most people would not expect. Not from therapy, from memory neuroscience. Dr. Endel Tulving, a memory researcher at the University of Toronto, spent 4 decades distinguishing between 2 kinds of long-term memory. He called them semantic and episodic. Semantic memory holds facts. Paris is the capital of France. Water boils at 100 degrees. Episodic memory holds experiences. The smell of your grandmother's kitchen. The exact thing your father said the night you told him you were quitting your job. In a 2002 paper published in the Annual Review of Psychology, Tulving wrote, quote, "Episodic memory is a recently evolved, late developing, and early deteriorating brain system. It is more vulnerable than other memory systems to disruption, and it is the only one that allows mental time travel." End quote. That last phrase is the one to remember. Mental time travel. When your brain replays the 2019 conversation, you are mental time traveling. You are not remembering it the way you remember the capital of France. You are reliving it. The smell of the room, the temperature, the expression on the other person's face. Your nervous system reacts as if it were happening again in real time in your bathroom at 11:47 at night. And here is the part most people miss. The default mode network, that brain system neuroscientist Marcus Reichel named in 2001, switches on the moment external demands fall away. It is the system responsible for mental time travel. During the day, work and noise and conversation keep it suppressed. At night, when the lights go out, when the teeth are getting brushed, when nothing external is asking for your attention, the default mode network turns on, and the files that have been waiting all day get opened, one by one. In the order your brain decides matters most. Most people who replay conversations do not understand what it is costing them. They think the cost is a few hours of lost sleep. The cost is much larger than that. Every time you replay a conversation, you reinforce the neural pathway that holds it. You make it easier to retrieve next time. You also lay down a slightly more elaborated version of the original memory. By the 10th replay, you are no longer remembering what happened. You are remembering your latest interpretation of what happened. The original event is buried under layers of revision. Memory researchers call this reconsolidation. It is how every memory you have works, but most memories do not get rehearsed nightly. The conversations you replay become the only versions of those people you remember. Your mother in the kitchen in 2014 becomes a slightly worse version of itself each year because you keep editing the scene. The friend who said the casual hurtful thing becomes a slightly more deliberate hurter because you keep adding context they probably did not have. You are not remembering them. You are sculpting them. And the version you sculpt is the version that lives in your nervous system from now on. This costs you trust. It costs you the ability to read new situations cleanly, because new situations get filtered through the sculpted versions of old ones. It costs you the present moment, because the present moment is what your brain interrupts to deliver the old one. It costs you sleep. And over years, it costs you the friendships and the relationships your brain spent so much energy trying to make sense of. Here is the reframe. The people who replay conversations at night are not broken. They are the people whose brains take social information seriously. Most people forget the conversation by morning because their brains do not flag it as important enough to revisit. Your brain flags more things as important. That is not a defect. That is a specification. In a 2019 study from University College London, the researchers found that people who scored higher on rumination also scored higher on what they called interpersonal accuracy. Their guesses about what other people were feeling, what they meant beneath what they said, were significantly more accurate than the average. The replay loop is not failing to do anything. It is doing exactly what it was built to do. The problem is that it does not have an off switch. You were not given a bad brain. You were given a brain that does the work of 3 brains in a room. And nobody ever told you that the cost of that brain was the bathroom at 11:47 at night. They should have. The reason you replay conversations is also the reason your friends call you when they are falling apart. Those two things are the same thing. The bill for one is paid in the other. You do not have to fix this tonight. You only have to know what is happening. Your default mode network is not your enemy. It is the part of you that takes other people seriously. It is the part of you that has paid attention to every nuance, every silence, every shift in tone, since you were old enough to feel them. It is the part of you that has loved well. It also needs a different way to close the loop, not by replaying, by another route entirely. The next video on this channel explains the one habit that, according to Dr. James Pennebaker's expressive writing research at the University of Texas, closes the loop faster than any pharmaceutical, any therapy technique, and any meditation app. It takes 10 minutes a night. It is older than therapy, and almost nobody who needs it does it. Watch that one next. And when your brain hands you a sentence from 2019 again, this time you will know what it is asking for. It is asking to be filed.